This story I wrote draws inspiration from a true story of an unnamed Congolese man, who in an act of desperate protest set himself ablaze. As an Ethiopian living in Canada, my roots may lie elsewhere, but my spirit is intertwined with the collective struggle for justice reverberating worldwide. In the stories of oppression, I see reflections of my heritage, reminders of the resilience ingrained within the human soul. I have chosen to lend my voice to the voiceless, so today I stand before you, not as a name, but as a voice that echoes the countless unheard cries resonating through the heart of Congo. Here is the miner's lament. In the heart of the Congo, where the blazing sun rarely pierces the darkness, I long to ignite a flame bright enough to be seen amidst the shadows that consume my people, where the world's most significant humanitarian crisis has killed 6.5 million people and displaced more than 7 million. Before the horrors of the European conquest, my Congo flourished as the Congo Kingdom, with its splendor tied to governance rich in tradition and honor. Yet foreign emissaries shattered our unity when King Leopold II seized control of the Congo, establishing the Congo Free State. If villages dared to protest, they were met with excruciating violence. Under the guise of humanitarianism, our labor built wealth in distant lands, monuments to our suffering. Daily, I navigate the cavernous mines, where injustice echoes louder than the pickaxes striking stone. Deep within the mines, I stumbled upon the ancient scrolls of Nahum, where I found stories that echoed Congo's afflictions. It told of a city soaked in blood, overflowing with victims. The carnage piled high, and a haunting image of people stumbling over a sea of dead bodies. On one hand, the nation is undeniably a victim of injustice. Its resources plundered, its people exploited, and its land scarred by conflict and suffering. Yet Nahum's words prompt a deeper contemplation. Is Congo's plight solely a consequence of human greed and cruelty, or does it also bear the weight of divine judgment for past transgressions? In wrestling with this question, I find solace in Nahum's portrayal of divine justice. It is a justice that does not disregard the suffering of the innocent, nor does it allow the guilty to escape accountability. Instead, it promises a day where the scales will be balanced and the oppressed will find vindication. As I ponder Nahum's lament, I'm caught in a sacred riddle. Does the God of peace also wield the sword of vengeance? And can the hand that extends boundless mercy also administer righteous punishment? The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, I whispered to myself. I grapple with this mystery of divine justice. In the intricate interplay of mercy and judgment, I glimpse the essence of peace unfolding. Without the weight of judgment, mercy loses its transformative power, for accountability provides the canvas upon which forgiveness paints its masterpiece. I found a voice for our community, recognizing that our suffering is not invisible, but that our blood loudly cries out to God. I embrace the tension between mercy and judgment, recognizing that they are complementary facets of the divine, not opposing forces. And in this realization, I find the courage to seek peace, knowing that in the hands of the Almighty, mercy and justice intertwine, weaving the very fabric of peace itself. I, the bearer of Nahum's prophecies, carry a story woven into the deepest recesses of my being. My wife and daughter fell victim to the heinous use of rape as a weapon of terror, an act that transcended the mere satisfaction of lust. A calculated assault designed to instill fear, assert power, and redefine the boundaries of shame. The assailants did not confine their violations to our home. They spread terror through the village. I stood there helpless, forced to witness the desecration of everything I held dear. To maintain my manhood and restore my dignity within my family, I journeyed the treacherous path to the mine, relentlessly pursuing any source of income. The yoke of responsibility weighs upon my shoulders like the burden of 1,000 stones. Yet I believe that the Lord will break the yoke from our neck and tear the shackles away. Each step towards the mine is not just a physical journey, but a testament to the resilience and hope ingrained within me. Arriving at the mine, I am met by my co-laborers, brothers in my afflictions. As we descended into the mouth of the mine tunnels, the darkness swallowed us whole. Congo soil hides the largest cobalt deposit globally, supplying about 70% of the world's cobalt. We descend into the mine with no shield against the silent danger that pervades the air we breathe. It is a sweltering furnace underground. We huddled in a small chamber 100 meters from where we started and chipped away at the rock. What we pull out in our tired hands is barely worth more than a few bucks. Cobalt, both our salvation and our curse. In my grip, the blue-green gold for which we risked our lives feels heavy with the hopes of many and the tragedies of those who have perished chasing after it. Congo, they say, is rich beyond measure. However, the truth is that we are the poorest. Our land holds treasures coveted around the globe, yet we toil in the shadows of the world's richest mines, trying to make a living from the scraps we extract. It is a paradox we live in daily, the stark contrast between abundance and poverty. The Lord will restore the splendor of Jacob, like the splendor of Israel, they say. However, it is hard to see that splendor amidst the ruins. I realize that true restoration transcends mere physical reconstruction. It is not just about rebuilding walls and cities. It is about nurturing the seeds of peace that lie dormant in our hearts, cultivating a landscape where compassion blooms and forgiveness reigns, a restoration of the soul. As we return to the surface, I glance around and witness children scattered like petals in the wind. Young children haul 90-pound sacks of cobalt up the mine walls, bearing the weight that scrapes their innocence away like the pickaxes scratches the earth. The meager sum of $1 a day fails to match the enormity of their toil. Their young shoulders, meant to carry dreams and aspirations, are bowed under the weight of these sacks. These boys, co-signed to these pits instead of classrooms, are robbed of childhood joys and forced into a grim reality far removed from the innocence of their tender age, a testimony to the cycle of exploitation that claws its ways through generations. As the day wanes, a deep weariness gnaws at my soul. I am weary, but not from the battle, from the ignorance that veils the plight of my people. My heart yearns for justice, echoing Nahum's prophecy, a testament to the rage of the oppressed against the cruel oppressor. Who will mourn for Congo? I embarked on my final journey through the bustling streets of Congo's capital, Kinshasa. The setting sun casted an elongated shadow across the pavement. I found myself standing alone amidst it all. The streets were full of energy and people, but hidden behind all the movements were unspoken tragedies. Listen, my voice cut through the chaos, quivering in agony. Congo bleeds, our souls torn by forces unseen, the mines, our existence, and our children are all consumed by greed. The genocide of our people must stop. The once bustling streets grew quiet, tension hanging thick in the air. The setting sun painted an ethereal glow upon us, as if creation paused, and all the angels leaned over heaven's balcony to witness my plea for justice. I take a drastic step in my zeal, a plea born from the most bottomless well of despair. I began to pour gasoline over my flesh. The sharp smell blended with the soil, protesting against the silent tyranny eroding Congo's spirit. I set myself on fire. With a heart ablaze, I become the living embodiment of Nahum's fiery wrath. Bypassers rushed to quench the flames, but I pushed them away, consumed by a fervent desire to awaken the world. It was a plea enveloped in fire, a hope that became like a fire shut up in my bones. In my sacrifice, the world would awaken to the injustice that has ravaged my people for too long. As the fire engulfs me, the promise of Nahum's verses envelops my spirit. A vision of Congo liberated from neglect's chains, a future where its pain would be recognized and its freedom revered. Let justice roll on like a river into the land of Congo, and peace like a never-failing stream.